Okay, what is going on, CYPRX advanced YouTubers? Welcome back to the CYPRX YouTube page. As always, if you guys are interested in learning about cryptocurrencies, commodities, indices, foreign exchange, please go ahead and consider subscribing to the YouTube channel. In today's video breakdown, I'm going to give you guys some interesting fundamentals, read some articles to you guys before we head into the weekend, and I'm also going to go over one of the best performing assets of the week, which I went over in the previous video, Casper token. Okay. Now, what I find interesting is that not a lot of articles are covering what just happened on Casper. No really mainstream articles that I found are even talking about the rally that just happened. But amongst all the cryptocurrency assets in the market right now, aside from all the major top 10s, okay, Casper outperformed XRP this week. Casper outperformed HBAR this week. Casper outperformed QNT this week. XLM, XDC. ADA. I mean, there's so many cryptocurrencies that Casper outperformed, and you're not going to find any articles on Casper this week. And the reason is, I think personally, because it's not really talked about in the mainstream media like all these other top 10 cryptocurrencies are. So again, guys, do not sleep on Casper. I told you guys in the previous YouTube video upload that if we did not break below the 5.5 cent region, that I was going to be looking for buy positions. And as you guys can see from when I mentioned that if we saw some type of bullish reversal, which I'm going to get into how you could have jumped into this price action in just 1 second. So stick around for that. But right now, currently we are up, okay, from that 5.5 cent region, we are up 62%. Okay, so absolutely outstanding. And again, you know, how is a coin that just rallied almost 63% from 5.5 cents not being talked about? Okay, this is insane. So let's just say again, hypothetically speaking, you would have put $1,000 into Casper right here. Your $1,000 portfolio on Casper would be up $630 right now. Okay, that's insane. You can't get returns like that on any type of bank or institutional savings account. Okay, you can't get any type of returns like that on a high yield savings account. No Roth IRA, no 401k. And look at this. This took 4 days. So 4 days, pretty much, all right, you had a 63% return on an initial investment of $1,000. Now, again, this isn't investing advice. Nothing that I give on this platform is investing advice, but I mentioned to you guys in a previous Casper video, if we do not break the 5.5 cent region, I'm going to be looking for buys. And this is exactly why, all right? I told you guys in the previous video breakdown, let's go to the 4 hourly, that we had grabbed liquidity beneath these lows and that Casper could potentially reverse. Now that we've had on the 4 hour a reversal and we've created a new high, we're going to need to see a breather on Casper. Now the market most likely is going to pull back. Okay, if it doesn't, that would be significant to see as well, right? Awesome, outstanding. If Casper does not pull back and it continues to rally, that would be beautiful. Okay. But what we just saw is a new high get created in comparison to this down leg or this temporary downtrend that we are currently in, where we were literally creating liquidity in the form of trend lines above these highs. Now Casper has completely liquidated all of the money in this area. Okay, so what do we need to see on Casper to see a bullish continuation? Number one, we need to see this 5.5 cent region hold. That's number one. Number two, we need to see a healthy pullback and the market create some type of higher low formation, right? The market can't just go up for forever, okay? It has to take a breather. People have to take profits. People have to panic sell, all that jazz, right? And the market has to retrace and set a new foundation for where the market is going to retrace back to the upside from. So what are those levels that we're going to be looking for? Well, as you guys can see, this was the most significant area of resistance that the market created in this area, which happens to lie at around the 6.5 cent region. So for me on Casper, what I need to see is if this market does decide to pull back, is I would like to see Casper hold above the 6.5 cent region, which would solidify that the market is not going to retrace back down to these lows, and that this was the proper bullish rally to take Casper to potentially higher regions and maybe even new all-time highs. Okay, so let's just be mindful of the current price action. So let's hop down to the lower time frame so I can teach you guys how you guys could have caught this major move on Casper on the fractal structure of things. All right, the 5-minute chart, just utilizing things that I've taught you guys on this YouTube channel before. All right, let's go ahead and put our session indicators on and see if we can capitalize on any moves during New York session on Casper token. All right, so down here, okay, when I told you guys and I mentioned to you all that I was going to be looking for buys if we did not break the 5.5 cent region. Guys, look at the accuracy. This is the alarm that I set, okay, at 0.547. So right below the 5.5 cent region. We never broke that. Okay, I was able to enter into Casper. As you guys can see, here's a New York session. Let me go to the 2-minute chart. Let's see if that works a little bit better. Okay, I don't know why that session indicator is not showing up right here. All right, on New York session, we'll go ahead and put a vertical line there. I don't know why it's not showing up, but you guys can see it. It's right there, okay? We'll go back to the 5-minute chart. Okay, so now we're monitoring price around where this vertical line is. You guys know that we're New York session traders. Okay, again, pay attention. This is how you could have caught the move, just looking at price action. Okay, understanding the principles that I show you guys on the YouTube channel. How can you first identify, let me zoom this all in. How can you first identify that this was a false bearish move? Okay, how? What's that question and what's the answer? How could you have identified that this is a false bearish move, and how could you have capitalized on a market reversal? Number one, we grab liquidity beneath lows. Okay, so that's number one, right? Where we can see orders were most likely placed beneath this low and people were expecting the market to continuously sell. So what type of orders existed beneath these lows? Sell stops and leveraged buy positions. Okay, so there's two types of liquidity beneath these lows. Look what the market makers did. During London session, they created early sellers right here in this area, which is another form of liquidity that we can identify in the market. Okay, so we have early sellers prior to London session, which is something that I've taught you guys to pay attention to. And we also have buy positions that are leverage and sell stops beneath these lows. The market makers set a liquidity trap in the form of what? Look at this, retail trading triple top, or retail trading resistance. Okay, which is early sellers prior to London session. Everything that I teach you guys is coming into fruition right now, right? Okay, boom, the market comes, taps into liquidity. Once the market taps into an area of liquidity, it shows us a willingness to go higher, right? Or give some type of bullish momentum, bullish order flow scenario, right? Where the market creates a new high in comparison to the previous one. So now we have a liquidity grab that rejects a psychological level. Over to the right-hand side, we see 5.5 cents. Okay, and what do we see? The market create structural highs, which is what? A new swing high. Even though it's fractal, we're on the 5-minute chart. What happens next? The market shows us a willingness to go higher. It creates a higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high formation. Boom, look at that. This is now what I've taught you guys on the YouTube channel to pay attention to. This is a market reversal. This is the market telling us that it wants to grab liquidity from the bottom, take price higher, set a foundation, create higher lows, higher highs, higher low formations, and continue its uptrend. This is now the definition of an uptrend, right? This is what order block traders and Wycovian traders like to label and all this stuff as a accumulation schematic. Right here in this area, okay, if we were to jump down to, let's say, the 1 minute, this whole boxed area right here would be an accumulation schematic where the Wycovian traders would, classify this as a sign of weakness or the change of character, or whatever the case may be, maybe a spring, LPSY, jump against a creek, break of structure, blah, 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 retest of that creek and structure, and whatever the Wycovian traders like to fill people's heads with, analyzing all of this stuff and labeling all this crap. It's jargon. You don't need it. Okay, all you need to understand is that the market grabbed liquidity beneath lows, broke previous market structure, created a new foundation by creating a new swing low, which is higher than the previous swing low, which would be classified as a higher low, which is now a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low formation. Guys, it's so simple. So now, right, that we've identified this, you can see that we're operating inside of New York session. So if we want to get in on this move, we need to wait for another break of structure, which we get right here. We see the market create a higher low, create a higher high. So now that the market has created another higher low, higher high formation, we know that the market is already trending up. So if we want to get in on the moving train, right, what are we going to do? We're going to take our Fibonacci. We're going to take it from, again, the most recent higher low that broke structure to the most recent higher high, extend that over, and look what we get, guys. Look at the accuracy of the strategy, just at what I teach you guys on YouTube. So if you wanted to get in on this moving trend and had you have analyzed the market like I teach you guys on the YouTube channel, not even going into detail on what it is that I give to the CYPRX Advanced students, look at the returns that you guys could have had. Again, this isn't investing advice, but let's just say somebody paid attention to what it is that I teach you guys on the YouTube channel, and let's just say somebody paid attention to the previous Casper video that I uploaded. You guys would literally have been able to catch a, let's keep going up because this joint rallied. Okay, look at that. A 1 to 23 risk to reward ratio, 23% on your overall capital, realistically jumping into the market properly, not just buying at a bottom, actually reading price action, seeing what the market did, understanding what the market did in this area to reverse and actually catching a quote unquote buy the dip. Not any of this hype, not any of this freaking, oh, just buy the dip, right? Flat out. No, understand how to properly get into a market move. And had you guys applied the knowledge that I teach you guys on the YouTube channel, right? Boom, look at that. Okay. Now, if anybody wants to learn this technical analysis and the strategy that I teach, you guys are more than welcome to. The link is in the description down below for the mentorship. It is a private mentorship, one-on-one sessions, over 60 hours of course material, private group chat, weekly Zoom calls. Again, link is in the description down below, or you guys can visit CYPRX.teachable.com. If this video breakdown and technical analysis is helping you guys out, understand the market, make sure that you guys subscribe to the YouTube channel, smash that like button. Let's get into some fundamentals and read some articles for you guys real quick. This is from fxstreet.com. Bitcoin price responds to the Fed by rallying. A close at $41,250 is essential for the upside. So maybe we can pay attention to this number. I told you guys that if we do hold above the $40,000 range on Bitcoin, we are most likely going to see a swing to the upside to potentially $50,000 to $55,000. All right. Now we're going to have to gauge the market and see how price reacts around those highs. But let's just be mindful that the rest of the altcoin market is going to react if Bitcoin has a bullish rally. Why? Because Bitcoin is still dominating the market. So you guys can go read that article. This one here from the Daily Huddle I thought was interesting. Crypto whales suddenly move over 100 million XRP and thousands of Bitcoin BTC as market bounces. Interesting to say the least. dailyhuddle.com. You guys can go sift and read through that. Thought that I'd share that with you guys. Analyst Benjamin Cohen says Bitcoin and crypto markets primed to rally higher despite short-term volatility. I've told you guys multiple times, regardless of your bearish scenario and your bearish targets, even if you want to believe it or not, this market in the long run, even if we experience some type of temporary bearishness, is going to the upside. Whether you want to like it or not, the market for cryptocurrency in the long run is going to appreciate in value because banks and institutions, once we get regulatory clarity, maybe potentially once XRP wins this lawsuit, right? Hopefully it does. I'm telling you guys right now, the prices of all these assets are going to skyrocket, okay? Banks and institutions are sitting on the sidelines. Retail investors are still skeptical. They're finally finding out about the space. They're seeing commercials on their YouTube channel. They're seeing commercials on their TV now, right? Over the next 2 to 3 years, 2 to 5 years, this cryptocurrency market is going to boom. Remember, we are in the infant stage, so I am completely in cahoots with this volatility to the upside. Now let's be mindful of some of the bearish targets from profit taking and banks and institutions giving themselves lower discounted prices to get in on potential rallies back to the upside. Okay, again, always just being mindful of price action, paying attention to detail, and paying attention to how Bitcoin moves. So that would be interesting. I would love to see if Bitcoin did rally to new all-time highs because that would benefit us as altcoin holders. Okay. This one again from fxstreet.com. Ripple price breaks into an uptrend. Giant announces 1 billion XRP for developers. Now, something that I found interesting about this, again, what I mentioned to you guys is that Casper was the best performing altcoin, in my personal opinion, in my portfolio this week. Okay. Now let's just take a look at the date that Casper rallied real fast. So Casper started its rally on March 15th. Let's go over to XRP. Okay. XRP from March 15th. Let's go to March 15th. Boom, right here, New York session. So we'll measure New York session, March 15th. Okay, hold on, give me 1 second. Let me extend that up. Okay, boom, March 15th, right here, New York session. If you wanted to catch this trend on XRP, all right, analyzing price action in this area, we can clearly see some price action that we could have got into, but just measuring this, okay, you're only looking at 6% returns. So how is an asset that just appreciated in value over 36% not taking up mainstream headlines? But we see coins like XRP, right? Because it is a mainstream coin, quote unquote, right? Picking up headlines and saying that it has a breakout or a bullish breakout. Where are the Casper headlines at, guys? Again, you guys need to be mindful of manipulation in the market. And as you guys can see, we see a bullish article on XRP, right? We see a bullish article on XRP, but we currently see what? Bearish price action. Okay, again, if you guys understand price action properly and you know how to properly read the markets, you guys can avoid manipulation because somebody, right, will go read this article, they'll get FOMO, and they'll just start buying anonymously. They'll just start buying, right? You have no idea where you're entering into the market. You just see, on your Coinbase or your Uphold account or whatever the case may be, whatever crypto asset you're looking to invest in, you see a price and you purchase. Instead of doing that, learn how to read price action properly so that on your exchange, you can wait for price to enter in to an actual discounted region. So again, let's just be mindful. Let's say that this article came out, right, in the morning, right? And you went and read this article in the morning. Okay, well, look what would have happened had you have purchased XRP in the morning. Okay, let me put my session indicators back on real fast. Boom. Okay, right? If you would have purchased XRP, your account portfolio would have depreciated in value because you didn't properly understand how to buy a dip. Okay, you don't want to do that. You want to learn how to read the markets properly from a mentor like myself or somebody else who properly teaches these markets. Not all these YouTubers who teach, I don't even know what they teach. Trend lines, moving averages, indicators, RSI, it's insane the amount of just gibberish that they put on their YouTube channel charts, okay, on their YouTube channel charts. It's just disgusting, okay? So a couple of articles that I thought were interesting for you guys today. As you guys can see, Casper is currently up 24%. Very interesting to say the least that there's no headliners surrounding Casper. Guys, be mindful of Casper. It is a sleeping giant in my personal opinion, not investing advice. Currently sitting at 8 cents. I told you guys I would like to see a pullback into that 6.5 cent range and then see a bullish reaction from that level. If not, and this was a buy trap, that would also be interesting to see because again, I have buy limits set for lower price action on Casper. Still, I'm holding those buy limits and they sit around the 5 cent range and the 4 cent range. Okay, so be mindful of that going into the weekend. Blessings to you guys all. Let's see if we can see some volatility on Casper pick up and break the overall bullish target that I gave you guys in the last previous video, which sits at 10 cents, which again is, if I'm not mistaken, the February high. Yep. All right, so the February high is 10 cents. For March and April, we would need to see price action boost above that and hold that significant level either above the 10 cent range after we break it or get a boost above that, retrace back down to the 8 cent range, and then give a higher high, higher low formation to continue price action to the upside. All right. Blessings to you guys. Everybody have a safe, good, and amazing weekend. As always, be cognizant, be aware. Make sure that you guys subscribe to the YouTube channel. Man, I'm telling you what, I've given you guys so many bullish and bearish targets that have come into fruition on this YouTube channel. I don't know why, if you're not subscribed and you're watching this channel, you're not subscribed yet. So really do appreciate the love and the support, guys. We're almost at 4,000 YouTube subscribers. Really do appreciate it. Again, as always, the link is in the description down below for the mentorship. Take it easy. Have a good weekend.